Oh, yeah. Woo! Such a great song.
It really is.
Great way to end the day, huh?
Yeah, I love it.
All right. We are back with our final guest of the day. And the day went by fast, which is great, which means we've done a ton of interviews today.
We have done a ton of interviews. Awesome day.
And Mr. Ted, you should be a very proud individual.
Well, yes,
on so many levels.
Yeah. We'll tell you why in a second. But
he probably knows. But
we'll first off, introductions are always the same.
Yep.
Give us your name,
who you're with, and what you do.
All right. So Ted Knack, president of Topodot, and what do I do?
What do you do, Ted?
I just, my job description is recently just kind of, I manage a little bit maybe, but really I kind of just, I enjoy this technology so much, and I just try to think about all the time where it's going, where we fit in, what we should be doing, what we shouldn't be doing, what somebody else will do better. And that's actually been a formula we've worked for a long time. I said, we're not going to, I was just talking to Sean earlier. I said, like, we're not, early on when we started this, I told the guys, I said, we're not going to outmarket everybody. There's only 4 of us sitting in this room when we started. I said, we're not going to we're going to push anybody out of the market. I said, we just got to make our customers successful and by a lot, because nobody changes too easily either. So that's kind of, and then I keep doing that. I just keep thinking about, what's the next step?
You always got to be thinking that way.
And obviously you're doing something right.
I was going to say, you're doing what you just described very, very well.
And what I was telling Ted before we started on here, if someone would actually would listen to all of the interviews just consecutively from today, the number one theme would be, we ask people what their experience is like, how's Topodot, and everybody said the customer service is phenomenal. Like, you get an answer, if not immediately, within an hour or a scheduled team meeting, and it's the best thing. And consistently, everyone said that. And it's got to be good to hear for you. But I mean, it's validating, I'm sure.
I think one of the other key compliments that I heard, and it resonates with me, is one of the guys said, it's just fun to use.
Oh yeah, that's another one.
Yeah, I love that.
That's true. I think it's true, because I don't get my hands dirty too much anymore, because I got to do other stuff, and it's a little, the CAD stuff's escaped me a bit these days. But the bottom line is, every once in a while I'll use it for a project, even if it's a home project. I scan my bedroom and then we remodel it. Okay. I just turned on all the 3D stuff and I started designing things, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is cool. This is the coolest thing.
This actually is cool.
Oh yeah. And then my contractor, he had the easy job he ever had, because I just give me your crew. I'm running things today. Here's what's happening. Right. Here's the 2D. Here's the plan views. Here's the plan view. Here's the 3D model. This is what we're making. Yeah. And the guy just left and just shook his head, and he said, no problem. Right. So it is a lot of fun. A lot of that comes from really, I think, you go back to, look, obviously didn't do this alone. So Mauricio is the technical wizard behind all these things, and Topodot, and I have a great team now, and developers. It's gotten bigger than Mauricio, but he everybody knows the story. I might have mentioned to you before, but he was a gamer, right? So, and he had hacked into Final Fantasy. I think it's a legendary story now, and until the lawyers caught up with him, he was making money doing that.
That's crazy.
When he was doing our first job. So the bottom line is, he made everything, like, he has a good instincts for, okay, it should be easy. It should be user experience. Yep. And I see a lot of software, and I don't mean to be critical. It's just that, if you're looking through the 3rd, 4th level of files that you have to go and click on, nobody can use it. You're the only one that knows, and it's
good
tough.
point.
So thanks. Yeah, it's a great compliment. And then as far as the customer support, our customers are our customers. We call them our community, right? Yeah. And they're our friends, and they're our partners, really. And we just look at it as their problems are our problems. Sure. Their success is our success. They do a lot of things, and we know when we call, they've got to get something done. It's we can't leave them. It's we can't leave them there. And that's been the philosophy, and it's a philosophy going forward. And it's it's a challenge. Not that we're going to leave that philosophy. It's just a challenge with our growth now.
Sure.
To maintain that, we always have to deal with. To take on another market, we can sell licenses, but do we have enough support? So we always kind of got to do it and balance it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yep.
And how do you do that? I mean, and this is the common theme on any consultant, but you want to grow and you want to go into another market. Do you go and hire up all your support guys and then grow, or do you, or is it needs based, or do you?
Interesting, Yeah, you want to create a little pull. So let's say talk about Europe. So we actually have some of our team members here are from Romania, Andra, and she's doing a fantastic job. And then we have Magnus, who's in Germany, and he's learning, but he's going to be really good. He's catching on to things really quickly. Yeah. Another gentleman from India who couldn't make it, but he couldn't get a visa at that time. But we just came on board, and we really have high hopes for him because he's really smart. He's really enthusiastic. I mean, it's all about the intangibles, really. I can find guys who are smart enough.
They don't have the enthusiasm.
Yeah, they don't have the enthusiasm. That's part of our hiring process. Is like, okay, we'll pay you for 2 weeks. Typically they might not have a job, so they should be okay with that. Yep. And I said, we'll pay you for 2 weeks, and we're going to see how you learn Topodot, because I can't learn in an interview if you can do it or not. You'd be surprised, shocked how many people just drop out.
Really?
Yeah. And they go, no, I ain't doing that. I go, well, wait a minute. This is what you were signing up for, and I was going to pay you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's it's just really weird. But it's kind of that. So how do you find those people? Yeah, that's what we do. Yeah. And the ones that stick with it and they do well, we're really happy about it. We bring them on board. Takes about 5-6 months before they really kind of let them loose on training. Yeah. So we don't just train them in a week and say, hey, go, you're a trainer now. Yeah. That's not fair to them. It's not fair to our customers. Sure. So we're at that point where we actually, so you ask, hey, how do you do that, Sean? You basically, we create some pull. We have Felipe Pinto is in Portugal, and he couldn't make it either because he's got to go to Rotterdam the end of next week, and he didn't want to do 2 trips. So, but the bottom line is, he's creating some pull. He's got interest. We know we're selling more there. We've been training him. We started out training him locally, just online. That got hard. Andra came in and really did a fantastic job. And she's really dedicated, really smart. She came up, and then she's just overwhelmed. Now she's tapped out. And Felipe, interesting enough, I said, we backed off selling. Yeah. I said, we don't need licensing. We don't need users around that we can't support. Right. So a lot of companies would just, we'll figure it out later, keep selling. I said, no, let's get these guys set up. Yep. Let's get them going. By the end of next year, we can be patient. We'll wait. And then we can kind of fill up their schedule. So that's how we do it.
So is the support, is it a 24-hour day thing?
No, we're not that dedicated at all. It's no, it's business hours in Florida. Okay. Gotcha. Business hours in Florida, and we will all work hours. If somebody calls overseas, we have to, we will. But it's but we'll make an appointment. We'll, okay, I'll get up early and help somebody. We tried doing it here for a while. My son, actually, Ryan, he's a developer now, but he did about 2 years of support, which made him a better developer, really. Sure. But he started doing Europe from here, and the 3-hour overlap seems like a lot, but he says by the time, all for 5 hours, there's this, he's not an early riser. We weren't going to have at 2 a.m. to work. So, but by the time the emails came in for support, they come in for 5 hours, and then you've only got 3 hours to cover them. Sure. And then it's just not working out. So.
Yeah. Interesting. I'm going to change my name to Magnus, I think.
Is that a badass name?
I love that name.
I don't know if you can pull that off, though. Probably not. I don't think I see Magnus when I.
No, probably not. No, but maybe my next life.
You can. I do love that name too. It just seems there's just so much. I don't know. But there's so many expectations when you have a name like that. You have to be careful.
That's true too.
Yeah,
you got to live up to that name.
You got to live up to that. You got to be good looking.
Yeah.
You think strapping, strong guy. I mean, not that you couldn't pull it off.
I don't think you check any of those boxes.
I love it.
I'm not saying it. I got
All right, Ted. So, two questions. What are you excited about? And if everyone's going to be scanning everything in the future, are you in the best position possible because you have an amazing. You have amazing product that everyone loves. That's going to process all these scans.
Yeah. Well, so, we're in a niche. We're still transportation oriented. So, I didn't. It took me a really long time to figure out the business model because I said, okay, what should we do? Well, there's a lot of roads out there. Okay, good. That was it. And, nobody's doing them well. It wasn't very hard than that. And I said, okay, well, let's see. Bentley's got a good Cal engine and they got 85% of the DOT market. So, okay, that's another reason. So it took me about 20 minutes to come up with the business plan. So then we're excited. So we're in a good spot there. So what am I really excited about? I think really it's about that, what's next. So we started something called we had a data storage solution. It started out Topo Cloud, but we realized it wasn't a cloud. It was just kind of like a tool to put stuff in the cloud. So it's Topo Share now, and Topo Share is just
like that.
our answer to basically the data governance problem. And I went to some workshops about data governance and transportation and things, and it was enlightening. I sit on those things, and I'm just after 2 days of that, I was like, it's 2 days of my life I'll never get back. But these guys are all trying to do well, but I think they take such a big chunk into going so far down the line into design and things that don't matter to us. I said, like, I'm the geospatial guy. I got point clouds, it's LAS files. I've got images, but I learned a lot from that too. And I started really looking into it, and I said, okay, data governance is what they're doing, and data governance is how do you organize your data, how do you make it useful, how do you get to it, because that's where the value is. And so we've had these solutions for a while. I took over the last 4 or 5 years, or about 3 or 4 years, we've gotten some good power users that so we know it works, and we listen to them. And then we realized I realized I realized I was kind of positioning it incorrectly. I was kind of positioning against all these viewers. There's a Point Terra out there. There's a Point Terra from Australia. There's a Ugrid from Chicago somewhere. There's a couple others. And I was always like, well, this is us and this is them, and we're less expensive and all that. And I realized we're not competing with them. They do really cool stuff. And to be honest, we don't have an immersive viewer that spins things around and looks at stuff. And that's very sexy. Yeah. It's just, it's not what we do. We kind of said, I'm an engineer, and by education and trade, in 10 years I did technical stuff. I was like, we have to feed the process, and it has to be traceable and quality controlled if we're going to actually support building really good things. And this data immersion spinning around in a panorama, it doesn't do anything. You spin around the panorama, and you just, after you're done, you just spun around the panorama, and maybe you saw some stuff out there, and that was interesting. You clicked on 2 points and measured, which is useless in design. Nobody knows if that's right, that measurement, and there's no way, and there's no quality control in that. Yep. And then to go into these viewers, the data's been reformatted that you can't use it anywhere else. So it's like, okay, so they're just doing something else. It's not that it's not useful. This immersion is good, and it's very expensive because you're streaming and you got to go into their server, and they're doing all kinds of stuff that makes it very expensive. Sure. So we just said TopoShare is like, all right, maybe you just can find your data and share it with people really easily, file-based and not even get in the way of Amazon or Azure. So like, how's it going to cost? And they said, what is it going to cost? Well, look at Amazon Azure. It's very transparent. Whatever you put up there, that's what it's going to cost. 2 cents a gig to store. Yeah. 8 cents a gig to transfer. Yep. And we don't add any cost to it. Yeah. Well, that's not hard to work with. Okay, fine. Yeah. And it's working out really well because what we're seeing is we're seeing this collaboration. It's starting, first our power users, there's one of our sponsors, DRMP, they've got like almost I'm going to say almost 1,000. I think it's more like 920 or something like that. But bottom line is projects, and they can go find on their laptop, they can open up and it's petabytes of information, and they can go find an intersection that you want to see. They'll just go, okay, we got data there. They'll just look, the map will come up in the browser, click, okay, oh, there's the tiles laid out. Click, there's the intersection. Okay, download it. In a minute, they got it. They're so productive.
Cool. That's amazing.
And they're so productive. And all we did was, so it's just kind of so the TopoShare is we build your own data warehouse, and the TopoShare Enterprise that we developed and we've been working on for a long time is it's an interactive catalog. So you can kind of like sort through in a GUI interface, but it's all file based. So you organize your data in files first before you put them up there, and then we just go and tell you where they are, and you go get them. And it's and then the neat thing is that it's just a web portal. So you just go to this website and go, okay, and anybody can, then you can so if you have data and you've built your data warehouse, you can just give somebody a link and they can go look into your data warehouse. They can't change it, but they can go look into it and know what you have.
Yep.
And then they can find you. So they can go, because inside of our little web portal, there's another little link, and a little click says, we call it a work order. Maybe we might change that, but it's basically, it gets you directly in touch email wise to the project, or we call him the geospatial administrator, who probably might have collected this data 8 months ago, doesn't know who you are, but you're a guy's like, hey, I'm Joe Engineer. You don't know me, but I need this. I'm working on this project, and I could really use some clearance measurements here. And then the guy gets the email and he says, okay, well, interestingly enough, there's requirements on this. Well, what kind of clearance do you need? Is it orthogonal to the road or vertical? Is it on a line or whatever? Everybody thinks this stuff's easy, and this is the stuff that engineers aren't going to click in a point cloud and get. Yeah. They'll get 25 engineers will try to get that out of a point cloud, and they'll get 5 different measurements. It's within 3 feet of each other. I'd be shocked. It's not easy, but this geospatial administrator has the tools. Topodot, maybe another. We're not confining anybody to Topodot. They can use another software if they want. He can get to it real quickly. Say, okay, I'll have that for you. Send it out, and then he signs off on it. So he has liability. There's quality involved in this, and he signed off and go, okay, yeah, this measurement is the right measurement. This is a clearance. You can drive your truck through it, or you can't. And that's what was missing a lot. The whole reality, the truth model, whatever people were calling it. It's like, no, there's no truth model. All models are wrong. Yeah, some are useful.
Right.
That's really what I live by. So it's,
I love that.
So
that's awesome.
I got a quote from somebody. I'll find it somewhere.
Can't claim that one. Huh?
Yeah.
No, it's good.
So what year is this for the TUC?
This is number, if you count the COVID online version, it's number 9.
Okay.
So,
okay.
So and we'll put it in there. So it's going from 26. TUC 16 was number 1.
Okay.
So we're still fortunate. I think the university really likes us. They like they like the money they make this week.
Because no one's here, right?
No one's here. They just get a big check, and they're very thrilled, and everybody's wonderful here, and they like it. And
we can give the College of Hospitality Management a lot of kudos on their hospitality. Yes, they know what they're doing.
They know what they're doing. Yeah,
shockingly, we sat down here. We're basically just looking around for a little bit, and all of a sudden, people just started bringing things, and they're like, "Hey, what about this? Oh, no problem. Comes right back. Everything."
They've been great.
They've been great.
They are, and we're really, really pleased because people, we're going to bring this somewhere else. Can we do it in the West Coast? I said, oh, geez, I don't know.
But that'd be amazing.
It would be fun. It's. I mean, the planning.
I can't imagine.
Well, my wife is Kelson. Did you meet Robin?
I did earlier.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
yeah. She's a star, and she's the real sales genius. But she's of course, I get to work close to the woman I love, and she gets to tell me everything I'm doing wrong and what I can improve.
Awesome.
So it works. It's a dream job.
We're not married.
You don't have to explore that. Explore that. I'm sure you're not sharing hotel rooms or anything, or me. I don't know. Oh, jeez.
So any big plans for the 10-year anniversary next year?
Well, we take one TUC at a time, so I can't say. But
you start planning on Monday, right?
Well,
next year.
Well, we're going to go over things. No, Monday off 3 days for the team.
Yeah.
You know, but that's it. But I want to cover. Yeah. So Tuesday, we'll have our first review. But it's all fresh in our minds. Everything that didn't go well.
Yeah.
You know, or didn't go as well as it could, or improve. You know, so everybody's been pretty happy, but. You know, and some silly things like, you know, everybody got a ticket and parking ticket for yesterday. We we actually miscommunicated how that all worked. So we had to collect about $300 for the tickets. So we'll take care of it. Don't worry, you know, worry about that. But so those are little things. And then there's stuff we can do better. For really, you know, if you don't do events, we've learned it on the fly. I mean, we just looked at what everybody else did and said, we've been going to enough conferences going, okay, well, we got a name tags. We'll do that. You know? Yep. So we kind of learned it, you know, on the,
it's a big undertaking for sure.
On the street. Yeah. And but it's been really a godsend in a lot of ways. And the reason I never give up TUC, because if you don't have a deadline for getting all the documentation gets done, the classes get done, and you have a deadline, right? And if you don't, it doesn't get done.
Yeah, it just gets done. Keeps getting kicked.
It just keeps getting kicked, and then it's like 2 years. You go, oh, we've never really gotten around to documenting that tool, and no wonder
it's almost like you get some group accountability from your users every year, and
it's true.
And you got to do it.
It's true, and it's really a critical part of our success, I think.
Yeah. And people look forward to it every year. You know, it's become that kind of event that people are looking forward to.
Yeah, I appreciate that. You know, and to be honest, you know, the guys that come here don't go to many conferences, really. I mean, and not many conferences are even training venues that treat them as well as we do. Let's face it. You know, I mean, and these guys don't ask for much. I mean, you know, an open bar and food, everybody's pretty happy. You know, we get and bowling, like, you know, the bowling, it's fine. I enjoy them, you know, gaining a base. I mean, just we like them. We think of ourselves as a community, and that's where it really opens up. And it's even
love that.
Yeah. And there's a lot of great conversations that happen that are really innovative and technical.
Yep.
You know, that people say, well, what if we did this? Or have you tried this? I mean, the exchange of information from really people that are leaders in this industry is really, really impressive, because a lot of good stuff has come out of TUC.
And one of the things that has come out of multiple of the conversations we have had today, the conversations that are had outside of the classroom, like in the social environment,
exactly,
and just like, you know, meeting new people, of course, and just bouncing ideas off of each other. And, you know, I've had 3 or 4 people say that that's been amazing as well.
Yeah. You know, people talk about networking and because there's not a lot of, it's not a business development quote. You know, it's really a technical thing, and technical people don't think that way, you know. But when they get here and start talking and say, you know, share your problems, people will just tell you, here's what I do.
Comfort zone a little bit.
Yeah.
Right?
You know, what's the problem you're having? Here's what, you know, because somebody will tell you, well, this is how we take care of it.
Yeah.
You know, you started off by saying everything's going to get scanned or we're going to use place. Yeah, I mean, the applications, nobody's complaining like that the work is getting less.
Right.
No, the work is just getting more. You're not like fighting for the same jobs, really. I mean, they bid for the same ones, but there's just plenty, you know, and when one guy gets a job, then he's busy, and then you'll get the other one, you know, because
there's plenty of work out there.
There's so much work in this, because it's the only way to do it anymore. I mean, you can't put 100 teams on, you know, like California used to do. I think they would, back in the day before later, you know, mobile scanning, I don't know, they have an enormous number of just survey teams out on every road, and they went away in 2008 and 9, and everybody started paying attention, you know?
Yep.
Right.
So,
I got another question. You said something earlier that reminded me, but, you schedule better next year, or the future of the platform platform, or how do you get those new ideas started?
Yeah.
Do you block it out like, genius idea time, and you bring in the whole group and sit in a circle, or
it's fun? It's a good question. Really good question, Sean. I tell you what, a little bit of that. I read a book once called Ideo, and Ideo is a company that makes so many things that we take for granted. They were the designers behind it. Like, what does the mouse look like, and why does it look like that?
Right. Yeah.
And then they do the toothbrush with the little thing on it that you don't have a flat toothbrush anymore. It's got to fit your hand and all that. But the bottom line is, what they did is they would get everybody in a group, and you come out with ideas, and you're never allowed to be negative. You never say why an idea won't work.
Okay.
Because that stops everything. That stops the creative flow. So I wouldn't say, I'd like to say we do once in a while, we're going to say, okay, we're looking for an answer, and let's just keep going. We just write stuff down. Like, okay, give me something to work. There's nothing stupid. There's nothing. You never go. It's really hard. Because take off talking.
Right.
You just got to let it go. And then in the end, you look what you have and you go, okay, there's something here. So that's something we've done, and we kind of do it informally that way. We're kicking things around. Now, the majority of it comes from our customers, because we are very, very close. All this support that we have, and really, we get deep within when our customers have a challenge, and because a lot of things are process oriented. It's just like, okay, we got to do these measurements. It's not about, don't even need a tool, but how do you use the tools to do what we got to do? And there's always kind of insane things coming up. Just had one guy said, how much grass do they have to mow along this corridor? I didn't know that was coming up, a thing, but it's a thing. Somebody gets a contract for doing the grass. So, okay, fine. So how do you do that quickly? Well, then all of a sudden little ideas come up, and they go, well, okay, we tried that to make a grass tool. That's kind of silly, but well, if you can isolate different things of different textures and all that, I said, this would be kind of useful, and you can use for grass or something else, hard surfaces, soft surfaces, vegetation surfaces, things like that. So, these are things that how they grow, and the ideas. And then, does it fit into our mission? Should we be doing it, or should people be sending it over to S3? Like, we're not going to store too much stuff, because we don't want to go down in an S3 or like a GIS rabbit hole that we can never come out of.
Sure.
So we just got to nope, leave it, send it there where it belongs. Same thing with CAD, of course, things like that.
Sure.
So that's a lot part of it. And then sometimes I also am a very firm believer in what Steve Jobs said. He said, I give my customers what they need, not what they just sit back and go, I know what you need. Because I can see it, and I'm gonna do this. And this is the TopoShare. Go back to the TopoShare thing. Yeah. Nobody was asking for TopoShare. Nobody knew what it was. Nobody knew this concept. But I said, but everybody had hard drives stacked this high on their desk. I go,
right. Yeah.
And I watched, and I said, I wasn't going to do the immersive stuff again. That stuff's great, but I'm not going to compete there. And I go, there's guys doing that. I go, but it's not solving the problem. They're still stacking up. Yep. There's still, the data governance isn't solved. So, that's not working. And it's not scalable because of price. And even if it was, it's just not quite right.
Yeah.
So I said, all right, well, then I think about, you guys need this. And because it's been 3 or 4 years of me telling everybody they need it. Now all of a sudden, that part's exploding really.
Yeah.
That part's really taken off. I mean, and it's very gratifying, to people to say, okay, you're right. Let's do this. So that's
pretty
kind
cool.
of the long answer. That's how we do things.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
What else? Is there anything else in particular you're excited about?
Well, I'm going to the Riviera for 2 weeks.
Nice. Good for you.
That's my bride.
Nice.
And she's, not only do we work together and we play together, and we're traveling more.
When's your trip? When's that?
That's going to be, we'll leave this week, next Thursday.
Nice.
I think I got that
I've
right.
always wanted to go.
That's
there
cool.
You go.
It's on the bucket list.
Yeah, you
For
go.
sure.
It's it's going to be nice.
Nice.
So getting the age, I'm not a young man anymore, and we've, Rob and I realized, we've got to just, I love doing this, but we're going to kick back, and the team can get on without me for a couple of weeks. Sure. And then I'll be then in geo business in London for a week on the way back. But it's not all life's not all, geospatial, technology. So, so we're doing that. That's exciting.
That is cool.
We'll be there next year. We couldn't pull
Geobusiness
we couldn't pull together this year. They invited us. We'll be there next year.
Oh, that's excellent. Yeah, you're like it. It's a good conference. And then what else? And then actually our new digs in Winter Garden. That's actually fun
cool.
as far as Topodot news. Yeah. We're in an old 100-year-old house.
Oh, really?
And
awesome.
In Winter Garden is a beautiful little village, very different than around here. And you just kind of like, so when I go to work each day, I just ride my bike down to lunch, come back. It's fun. The guys like it a lot. And we're going to have to build a building on the land we have because we need more room.
Yeah.
And so that's all.
That's a good problem, right?
Yeah, that's cool.
It's a good problem. Yeah.
It's a good problem. Well, you guys are everywhere. Like, I think every show that we go to, somebody from Topodot is there. Like Jennifer, of course. Everybody knows Jennifer. She's everywhere.
Yeah, she is.
You guys just do such a good job at promotion. You know? Yep.
Yeah, she's
show up at all the right places.
Yeah, well, we're passionate about it. We like it, and it's been blessed with a good team. I mean, all the guys. And it's growing. We have some new faces. I think you met a few.
Yeah.
And
meet some more tonight, I'm sure.
Yeah. So they're going to be. Yeah, I think one last open bar. So you can let loose tonight. And tomorrow we'll just kind of a few more classes and say some goodbyes, and maybe another year will be by.
Yep. Another one.
Another
in
tuck
the books.
down. Tuck in the books.
Yeah, we can't wait.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I want to personally thank you for your support of the show. Like, you guys have supported the Geoholics essentially from day one. And, we would not exist without folks like yourselves. So we thank you for that. And congratulations on the success. It's awesome.
Thank you very much. And congratulations on your success.
Thank you.
I'm going to, and I have to admit, I don't listen as much as I should because I'd like to say I'm busy, but I've got to let part of my deal with Rob is I got to let it go sometimes. So,
there you go. Yeah. Well, you have to listen to this one for sure.
For this one, for sure.
You got to listen to it. I mean, so many people said so many great things.
It's almost like a really good customer feedback loop because you get it right from them, and you're not standing there.
For sure. No, for sure. We will.
Value add for sure.
Well, we appreciate you guys very much too. So we'll see you tonight at the reception there, and we'll call it.
All right. Thanks again, Ted.
All right. Take care.
Hit it. Let's take us out.
Hit it. Well, there we have it. Another tuck in the book.
Another tuck in the book. As
Tuck 24. Thanks to everybody who spent some time with us today. It was great. Made some great new connections. Love hearing what everybody has to say about Topodot.
Yeah,
and it's humbling for sure, no doubt. So that's it. Till next time.
Till next year.
We're out.